right, winter backpacking underway. So I'm down here today. It's Friday, December, it's like the 19th, I think. I'm here with my buddy Nate at the Kinderhook trailhead. This is, from what we gather, one of the newest or the newest trail system in Wayne National Forest over at the Marietta unit over by Archer's Fork. This is about a 12-mile loop. Open to horses, mountain bikes, and hiking. You can camp wherever you want. We really don't know what to expect from this. Nate did most of the research for this, and by research I mean he printed out the maps. Because there's really not much.
There's nothing to find.
Yeah, there's not much to find on this, so we're kind of feel like we're blazing a trail on this one. It was cold this morning. It's warming up a little bit now. We're still in the low 20s and looking at low 20 temps this trip, and we're gonna get going here. Parked down off the little road here because they got the gate closed. So here we got the kiosk. Some of these trails, like these ones, aren't even on the maps that we printed out. But I believe what we're going to be doing is the light blue here is the Kinderhook long loop. We're going to go all the way up and down and around. That should be about 12 miles, I think. Got a little maps here with no maps in it, so glad we brought something.
12 to 16 miles. We'll find out when we wreck it. Yeah, should be a good time.
Ground is pretty frozen out here. Already passed by some water. Apparently from the map it looks like there's going to be plenty of water in this place, except you're really not supposed to drink the water in Wayne National Forest. So we're finally starting to hit some elevation here, about 1.5 miles in so far. The trail is pretty well established. It's definitely like a double wide, you know, like a standard horse trail kind of is. Not sure if it's going to be like this the whole time or not, but that's kind of what we were expecting coming into this. And we're definitely doing it in the right season because everything is frozen and everybody knows that horse trails aren't the funnest in the summer when everything's all muddy and wet. Having a good time and still feeling pretty optimistic about how the day's gonna go. We got what looks like light gray blazes here, which is probably supposed to be this like baby blue. From what I read, this trail goes through some of the steepest parts of Wayne National Forest, apparently. So that should be fun. Yeah, so the reason I'm out here is because I really wanted to do a tarp camp. I didn't get to do one last year. I've been really itching to sleep under a tarp again. So I was actually getting my stuff all packed up, laid out on my kitchen table yesterday, and Nate threw me a text, wanted to know if I wanted to go this weekend down here, and I hadn't even planned out where I was going. I really had no idea. I was probably just gonna wing something out at Mohican, but he offered to drive down and invited me down on this trip, which we both never have done. I love doing new trails, so the idea of doing a trip that's not a solo, somewhere new, sounded better to me, so that's why I'm out here this weekend. Already shedding a layer here, getting pretty hot up in this sun, but if you guys notice, I do have some new gear in this trip. This backpack I'm wearing is my new Light AF Curve 40 liter. It's the full suspension model. I'm really liking it so far. It's super comfortable. The shoulder straps are really unbelievable. But yeah, I got this thing with like all the options. I got the bottom pocket, the V-loop on the back that has my sit pad attached to it. And it's just loving all the space. I don't even have it filled up near capacity, and this is a winter trip, expecting in the low 20s. So loving the big water bottle pockets on the sides. I can fit like my tripod and my water bottle and tons of other stuff in there as well. So liking it so far, no complaints. Nate's getting warm too. He's already down to a t-shirt. What do you think? It's like still in the 20s probably, right?
Yeah, probably high 20s. I'm sweating.
Yeah. I bet that mic came unplugged, didn't it?
I don't know. Okay.
Gotta love the audio. Technical
Audio battle.
difficulties. So we have the long loop to the right and the short loop straight ahead. What trip in Ohio would be complete
Without oil wells. Thanks.
Reminds me of home. Kicking off the short loop, starting the long one here. No turning back. So I'll show you guys my setup and both of our setups whenever we get to camp, but me and Nate are actually both tarp camping tonight. We have a little bit different setups, so that'll be fun. I'm kind of anxious to see what he's doing because mine is not the best tarp setup. My tarp's actually pretty small. I don't know, it should be fun. It's been like I said, like 2 years since I've tarp camped, so I really am not even sure like what configuration I'm gonna set it up in. But that's kind of what's cool about tarp camping is you kind of have different options depending what your weather is or where you're setting it up, whether you have trees or not. I'm just kind of excited to play around with it and sleep out in the open air tonight. Walking along the ridge line here, we can actually see the Ohio River down there. A couple minutes ago we could actually see it over on this side too. It kind of wraps around us here, but that's pretty cool. Walking right alongside the Ohio River now. There's a road right down there. You hear a lot of road noise, but it's definitely a cool spot. And we actually weren't sure if this was the right way, but right now I see a blaze in that tree. So we are definitely on the right trail. This is pretty cool. I was not expecting to hike right alongside the Ohio River.
Yeah.
And now we're going back into the woods. A little bit of snow there. There was quite a bit of snow in our north where I'm from this morning. A little bit surprised that there's really none down here. Have yet to see an established campsite. Not really sure if there even are any established campsites on this trail. So it might be kind of fun trying to find a spot to set up. Always gotta run back at that camera. Nate knows how to do it. If you guys don't know Nate, his YouTube channel is Adventures of Frostbeard, is that right? Yeah, Adventures of Frostbeard. I'm going to put it down right in the very first thing down in the description below. I'm going to put a link to his channel. Check him out. He's a solid dude, puts out some really good videos too, so make sure you go check him out, give him some subs. So we're done with our road walk here. Got a decent little water crossing. I can see a blaze across the way there. I think Nate found a good spot down here to cross maybe. Oh yeah. I'm thinking this way. Is that too far of a jump?
No, probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't step on the right side of that. Okay.
Do that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh. Ouch. That was nice. Seems to be a common theme in this place to not have enough trail blazes. Trying to figure out, this is probably about the 4th or 5th time within the last, I don't know, 4 miles that we've kind of had to assess our situation here. Even back there, that road walk, the map said to just go right across the road, but it was definitely a maybe an 1/8 mile road walk to where the trail crosses over. I don't know, I guess we'll just have to pick one and go until we do or don't see blazes, I guess. take 2. Took a right at the fork now because that way was wrong. And I don't know, this gets pretty overgrown too, but I'm still banking on this being it, I think. Finally saw a blaze, but we just keep going up and up. So see that little island on your phone there in the river?
Uh-huh.
That island's right there in that map.
There, yeah. So we're like...
So after about a 20-minute looking for the trail debacle, we stopped and ate lunch. We finally found it too. Okay, yeah, so there's the first blaze we've seen in a while. Getting lost a little bit here and there, but you always find your way. We both split up when we couldn't find the trail anymore, and then he backtracked and found it. What do you think here?
I don't know.
I guess keep going this way. We were discussing that we think we might be like the first people to ever backpack this trail. It's up there, I bet. Yeah. Not great blazes. They'll put a blaze like 100 feet after a fork, you know, instead of putting it at the fork so you know which way to go. They make you guess and then figure it out. This is crazy. We just saw a blaze, so we're close. Is it up there?
Or is it down there? Is it that, like...
Looking pretty green up here. A little bit of a scenery change. We lost a good bit of time back there when we were lost. And we've been on this little dirt road here for a little while. It's about 2 o'clock. 20 after 2 right now. Probably gonna start looking for a campsite here within the next maybe hour, and if we don't find anything by 4, we're gonna really start looking for one. So that is the plan. Sunset's gonna be at 5 o'clock tonight. We did pass one like prime campsite back there, so there is hope that there are campsites on this trail. We are not the first people to ever camp on it, which we are beginning to wonder. Apparently someone hit it. That's what I gather. Sorry, dog.
This is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Just popped off the road onto another road, but our trail heads back into the woods right down here. There's a little campsite here, but I'm not gonna take this one because it's right on a road. And we kind of like to be by water, so we still got a little bit of time to try to find something better. Well, doing another road walk here. Made a new little friend. He's being pretty nice. He's just defending his driveway. He's gonna follow us a little bit back there. Look at him. There's just a lot of road walking in this upper half of this loop here, which is okay because we're banking out miles now, but definitely gonna be looking for that campsite here in about 45 minutes. Probably as soon as we get off this road, we're gonna start really eyeing something up. So the sun is on its way down for sure. Some nice local wildlife here. Hey, buddy. In the website for this trail, it said expect to see signs of human presence. You know, present and or past and present. So we knew that there'd be signs of civilization, or I figured it just was referring to like oil wells and stuff.
Apparently it also means chicken coops. Oh wait, there's a sign that says a campsite up ahead.
Oh, no way. Man, that's awesome if there's gonna be a nice little campsite up here. Was not expecting that. So it's 3:59 on the nose. We kind of came to a crossroads, and me and Nate dropped both of our packs and ran in separate directions to see if we could find a campsite or water, and neither of us really found anything. So we're gonna backtrack to where we saw that campsite marker, because we only have like 2 miles to be out tomorrow. maybe a little bit more than that. We can backtrack. We'll still be fine to get out of here in good time or whatever in the morning, but I'm thinking that campsite might have just been off trail somewhere. We might have walked right by it. So just kind of backtracking to find it. The good thing is we're up high, so we'll have a little bit extra sun for today. Well, we found a spot. It's definitely not established. Never did find the established campsite. I think it might have been implying that the campsites back at the trailhead were up ahead, which is like still like a few miles away. This is all right. It's at least flat up here. So going to get set up now and maybe have a fire, maybe not sure, but either way it's 4 o'clock, so we still got plenty hours of nighttime to do whatever. So be back in a bit. There's the setup for this evening. There's Nate's setup. His is much more impressive than mine. So this is the E&O Pro Fly. I've had this thing for years. It's a hammock tarp, so it doesn't really like to be set up in different configurations. Right now I have the back just a little bit lower than the front here, just to kind of shed some of the wind that might be coming off of this hill later tonight. But it's really not going to do a lot as far as wind protection. But the good thing is that I have a 0-degree sleeping bag tonight, so I should be fine. Now Nate's got a DD tarp here. It's like a square tarp, and he's got the back tarped off, so he's got a 3-sided shelter. It goes all the way to the ground, so much more protected. Really cool setup. I really want to get a different tarp for doing things like this. I don't tarp camp often, so it's still kind of new to me. Yeah, the hammock tarp here, it's just not the best design. The way everything like curves around, and unless you have it you know, like parallel to the ground, it doesn't really like to get tight. So even just having the bottom end a little bit lower, it was kind of making me struggle to get it taut, I guess. But yeah, it's not too bad here. I'm gonna set up my little ground sheet inside, which is just a footprint to a 2-person tent that I have. Nice warm fire. It's only 5:30, but the sun's definitely over the horizon, so we're losing sunlight fast. But we're just sitting enjoying our fire, and I'm probably gonna make some food here. I have a Mountain House chicken and rice for dinner. Nothing special. Oatmeal in the morning, nothing special. Pretty standard stuff for me. I don't know, just gonna enjoy a nice little peaceful evening here by the fire, and try to keep nice and warm until it's time to go to bed. Alright, so for dinner we have the all-American rice and chicken. Wow, no, I took it out of focus mode. There we go. So for dinner we have, oh, you can't see nothing. Ooh, she smells good. Chicken and rice never disappoints. Oh, that is good. Alright guys, so it is 8:47. Just hung out by the fire here, had a good old time. Temperature is definitely dropping a little bit. When you walk away from the fire, it's definitely kind of chilly, but we're going to bed now. I'm probably not going to get up until the sun comes up. That'll be nice though, because we're up on this hill, so as soon as the sun comes up, it'll be hitting us, warming us up. So yeah, gonna hit hit the sack here, hopefully stay warm all night, and we will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Had a decent night's sleep. Stayed pretty warm. I did wake up like a bunch of times, but I'd always fall back asleep pretty quickly. Just kind of kept getting like drafts. Obviously my tarp wasn't holding out a lot of wind and everything, but I did have the 0 degree sleeping quilt, so it kept me pretty warm all night. Right now I'm just gonna boil up some water and make 1 packet of oatmeal and a little bit of coffee, and then start packing up. And we got about 2.5 miles out today. We figure we probably hiked around somewhere between 9 and 10-ish miles yesterday. It was hard to tell because we got lost so many times. We were just doing so many circles. So he actually has like, I think 13 or so miles on his GPS. Yeah, so oatmeal getting in my belly, warm me up here, and we're gonna get going today. See, the chair I wrestle with all the time if I should bring it or not, because there have been times when you get a terrible campsite and there's not even a log.
Right.
And when you're sitting
on the ground,
Indian style on the ground, that's when it kind of sucks a little bit. But, I mean, there's been times when we've showed up to camp and there's great seats, and it's like, oh, why did I bring a chair?
right.
Ultralight is pretty much being comfortable on the trail, and traditional is pretty much being comfortable at camp. So it's like, do you want to be comfortable while you're hiking, or do you want to be comfortable at camp?
Right.
So it's like,
I kind of want to do both.
yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit of both is the way to go.
Right.
Which is not a 6-pound base weight, because you don't have anything and you're sleeping on an 1/8-inch foam pad.
Right.
I mean, just to make your number look lighter than everybody else's, I ain't sleeping on that thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, it's only worth it if it truly is the last one you ever buy. He was like, but when you see that there's a new, better one, and you go out and buy that, then it wasn't worth it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was like, that's a good point. You know what I mean? Like, if you're buying the, like, most innovative technology, you're probably going to want the new most innovative technology.
That is a good point.
Sure. Carrying your trash in your hands?
No, I'm going to do the bottom pocket.
Oh. I forgot.
No, I'm actually just going to leave it.
Pick up your gloves and walk away.
Yeah, I'm getting used to the bottom pocket too. It's a little bit weird at first, because you don't think about that you can only reach that far.
Right.
You can't reach all the way in it. So it's like, unless you have something like longer you can shove in there, or you're okay with it just being on the edge, it's a little weird. It's about 9:20 right now, so we're gonna head out, bang out these last 2.5 miles back to the car, and we're gonna call it another tarp camping trip in the books. Already starting to warm up, starting to feel those toes again. My toes are always completely numb in the morning until I get hiking. Debated actually wearing winter boots on this, but Nate said he was wearing trail runners, so I did it too. Pretty cool area here though. It's not your normal single track trail or hiking trail. It's definitely pretty much the wide ATV style trail the entire way. No ATVs allowed out here, but really had a good time on this trip though. I love coming somewhere new for that sense of adventure of not knowing what you're getting into, not knowing where water is, not knowing where camp is. It's a cool feeling to me. And tarp camping especially too. Just it's a really cool feeling. Like this morning, heard some sounds and I look out and there's 2 deer walking like probably 20, maybe 25 feet in front of Nate's tarp there. I figured they were further away because sound kind of carries in the woods, but they were being pretty quiet. So it's one of the good things about tarp camping. If I would have been in a tent, I wouldn't have seen them this morning. I wouldn't have wanted to get out or open a door or anything to look out. Something about tarp camping too that always brings me back to doing it is, you know, when you backpack and camp in the woods a ton, you just kind of get you know, numb to any fears that you might have had. I know the first solo or two I did, it's a little bit scary just being out in the woods by yourself first couple times. You don't really know what to expect, and you lose that over the years. Like even when I was out in Oregon by myself, I didn't have fear one night out there, but when you sleep under a tarp and you're on the ground, it brings back just a little bit more of that wonder of, you know, is something gonna get me tonight? So I don't know, it's kind of intriguing to me to bring a little bit of that back. Definitely want to get a new tarp setup though. The tarp I used is a ProFly hammock tarp. It's terrible for setting up on the ground, but I definitely want to get something better for tarp camping. Doing some legitimate climbing here. We passed pretty much nobody. Just one hunter scouting some spots on an e-bike, but no backpackers. And there's been 2 campsites so far, and they were like right on a road. Nice campsites, but you know, I always like camping a little bit farther off. But there are spots to kind of make a site, but it's kind of a plus. There you get solitude on this trail, and it'd be a good place to guarantee that solitude, and if you want to do wild camping, because you're allowed camping anywhere here. Well, we are back at the trailhead, passing by the kiosk and stuff here, but we're there, we're done. We'll have to figure up the mileage later, see what it is. But somewhere maybe a little bit over 12, we're guesstimating. Yeah, it was a fun trip. Definitely an adventure. Always fun to come somewhere new. I'm always down for exploring areas I haven't been. Definitely a more fun weekend than if I would have just went to Mohican by myself. So thanks to Nate for inviting me on this one. Go check him out, Adventures of Frostbeard. I'm gonna put his link in the description below. I think that about does it. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.